so glad that you have decided to pop in today to learn how to knit this beautiful shawl pattern. This beautiful shawl called Concatenation was designed for you by Janica Carter, and it will have you casting on in no time. A concatenation is a series of interconnected things or events. So this pattern is a beautiful series of repeats that features primarily knit stitches and some fun little swirly puffy things, which are so cute. They remind me of swirls on top of a cupcake. Yum! And while this pattern is stunningly gorgeous, I believe it is simple enough that just about anybody can make it. So with a simple increase on one side and a decrease on the other, you're going to easily create this gorgeous parallelogram shape. And I love this shape for a shawl because it forms an attractive little point on the end, which looks really great when you're wearing it. Another thing that I love about this pattern is that it repeats, so you are going to have it memorized in no time. Also, you can very easily adjust the width if you want a scarf or more of a blanket size. You can adjust the length, it's totally up to you. I do love the large, cozy size of this one because it feels like a big, warm, comforting hug. For the beautiful colors featured in this pattern, we opted for our limited edition Blossom fingering weight yarn. It glows and it drapes and it is just beautiful for flowy shawls like this. I love these colors together so much. The yellow with the gray, and we've got this beautiful cool pink tone, and then a pop of teal. They all look so beautiful together and it creates such a scrumptious look. Another fun thing that Janica did when she designed this pattern, which you can do when you make yours, is the colors are actually reversed. So you'll see here in the middle, the gray is on the yellow and the yellow's on the gray, so that it reverses on each side. The gray is on the pink here, and then the pink is on the gray on this side, and then it continues to reverse all the way to the end of the shawl. So I'm going to show you how to make this pattern. If you would love to follow along with me, you can grab the written PDF at expressionfiberarts.com. We're also going to put the link to that and the yarn in the description box below for you. So the PDF includes all the instructions for gauge, as well as color changes and other pertinent info that you may want to have. So you can go grab that, and then let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start with the border. Now, since I'm making a smaller version today, I'm just going to cast on 10 stitches, but you will want to cast on 100 stitches if you're making the full-size version. For row 1, we're going to start with an increase on one side and a decrease on the other to start creating our bias shape. To start row 1, we're going to begin with a knit stitch, and then to increase, we're going to do a knit 1 front and back. So you begin a knit stitch, but leave that stitch on your left needle. Swing your needle around to the back, and you're going to also knit into the back of that stitch, and then you can slide it off. So we've created 2 stitches out of 1. Now you're going to knit all the way across your row until you have 3 stitches left. And then we're going to decrease. When you've got just 3 stitches, you're going to work a knit 2 together. So just knit 2 stitches together, turning 2 into 1, and then knit that final stitch. And there you go. Row 2 is very simple. You're just going to knit every stitch across your row. Row 2 is a nice simple row. You are just simply going to knit every stitch all the way across your row. Nothing fancy here. And that row is complete. Now to work rows 3 through 8, you're just simply going to repeat rows 1 and 2 3 more times. Now we're moving on to the body of the shawl, so let's go ahead and work row 1. Now for row 1 of the body, we're going to continue along by doing a knit stitch in that first stitch. We're going to do our increase by knitting front and back. And then this is basically the same row we've been working. We're going to go ahead and knit all the way across until we have 3 stitches left on our row. Then work our decrease by doing knit 2 together, and then finishing off that final stitch with a knit stitch. And you can see our nice little bias shape coming along here. All right, you're doing so great so far. Let's go ahead and move on to row number 2. Now to begin row 2 of the body, we're going to start with 3 knit stitches to form a nice little border. Then we're going to purl all the way across our row until we have 3 stitches left on our needle. Then we're going to go ahead and knit those. Nice and simple. For rows 3 and 4, you're just going to repeat rows 1 and 2. Now we're moving on to rows 5 and 6, and there is a very important point in the PDF pattern for you for these rows, so be sure to check that out. All right, so row 5 has those fun swirly little puffy things, so let me show you how to work those. For row 5, we're going to do something really fun, so let's go ahead and start with a knit 1, and then a knit front and back to create our little increase, just like we've been doing. But then we're going to shake it up. All right, we're going to slip 1 stitch purlwise. So just go ahead and slide 1 stitch from your left needle onto your right needle like so, and our little needles should be pointing towards each other. Now in the next stitch, we're going to work knit, yarn over, knit, and then you can slide it off. So you're going to repeat that across. Slip 1 purlwise, and then knit, yarn over, and knit that next stitch. You're going to repeat those 2 stitches all the way across until you have 4 stitches left. Then you're going to finish off your row with a knit 1, a knit 2 together for our little decrease so we maintain our bias shape, and then a knit 1. Super easy. Now we're on to row 6, and this is a really fun one because we're going to close up those little cupcake swirls. Now for row 6, we're going to begin with a knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to knit 3 together through the back loop. So go ahead and turn your work so you can slide into the back loops of those next 3 stitches and knit those together. Bloop. Now we're going to slip 1 stitch purlwise, like so. Now you're going to repeat that across. Knit 3 together through the back loop. That's closing up our little swirly puffy things. And then slip 1 purlwise, and you're going to continue doing that across your row until you have 3 stitches left, and then you're just going to simply knit those 3 stitches. And that's what you should be looking at. Now I'm going to tell you the sequence of repeats that you need to work to complete the rest of your shawl. So to work rows 7 through 24, you're just going to repeat rows 1 through 6 3 times. When you get to rows 25 through 38, you're just going to repeat rows 1 and 2 7 more times. Next, when you get to rows 39 through 62, you're just going to repeat rows 1 through 6 4 times. After that, for rows 63 through 66, you're just going to repeat rows 1 and 2 twice. Then, after all of that, you're just going to repeat rows 1 through 66 8 times, or however big you want your shawl to be. And finally, you're going to finish off your shawl by working a border just like you did at the beginning. And there you have it, a lovely wearable piece that makes a great gift or a gorgeous staple for your own wardrobe. So once you've finished making yours, grab it and grab your favorite book, a piping hot cup of herbal tea, and cozy up for an afternoon of pure bliss. Until we meet again, dear one, ta-ta for now.
Three, 2, and go.
From the very top?
Yeah. Maybe you want a hot dog in front of the camera.
Why I oughta. My hat's poking off the screen. Oh, now it's good. Hello. Concatenation. Johnny, I've decided to quit the theater.
Bebe.
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 2, 1. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it's a metaphor for death.
Legit can't.
Ah, sounds amazing. Ah, sounds amazing. Ah, sounds amazing. Until we meet again, dear one, ta-ta for now.